A lot of folks think building massive wealth takes a winning lottery ticket, a massive trust fund, or, I don't know, inventing the next iPhone. But the data, it tells a totally different story. Massive wealth isn't an accident. It's actually a highly structured, data-driven engine. So today, we're throwing out those old assumptions and looking at the exact step-by-step blueprint you need to build your very own wealth-generating machine.
Welcome to This Explainer. I am seriously pumped about this one because our goal today is simple but absolutely massive. We're going to take all these separate theories on wealth generation and synthesize them together into one actionable masterclass. We'll be pulling mindset training from Scaling with Systems, high-income skill data from Coursera, scalable business models from IdeaProof, and some seriously aggressive investment strategies from Confluence Investment Management. By the end of this, you will have the complete blueprint to build your own million-dollar engine. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's dive into this roadmap. First up, we're installing the Millionaire Operating System. Second, we acquire the high-income skills for 2026. Third, we break down those million-dollar business models. And finally, number 4, we hit the accelerator with aggressive growth investing.
Section 1. The Millionaire Operating System.
To build anything at a massive scale, you've absolutely got to have the right foundational mindset. We're talking about the exact same operating system used by self-made billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and Oprah Winfrey. Without this base, honestly, any business or investment strategy is just going to crash and burn. Now, while the team over at Scaling with Systems lays out 10 distinct millionaire skills, we really need to zero in on the most crucial one here, escape velocity. This isn't about chasing cheap overnight wins, no way. This is about putting your head down and grinding for 3 solid years. You relentlessly build your skills until you hit financial escape velocity. That's the point where your income just effortlessly covers your day-to-day life while simultaneously funding the exact lifestyle you actually want.
And that brings us to a massive mindset shift, perfectly captured in this quote. Plan like you're going to live forever, but live like you're going to die tomorrow. I just love that. It perfectly unpacks the whole idea of delaying gratification. You literally have to control that urge to give in to immediate, trivial rewards. You're trading a quick dopamine hit today for a massive long-term victory tomorrow. But at the same time, it's a great reminder that all this hard work has to actually mean something. You got to celebrate the wins and the experiences you create along the way.
Moving on to Section 2. High-income skills for 2026.
Okay, so mindset alone isn't going to build an empire. You need capital. And to get that initial seed money, you need technical high-income skills to act as the raw fuel for your engine. Looking at Coursera's data for 2026, 2 massively sought-after paths really stand out. On the one hand, you've got data analysis. This is super analytical. Think SQL, Python, diving deep to help businesses interpret data and solve complex problems. Then, on the other hand, you have user experience, or UX. Now, UX still relies on data, sure, but it's heavily grounded in design, research, creativity, and a really high level of social perceptiveness. So take a second and think about which of these paths actually fits your natural talents over the next 12 months. Mastering either one is a total game changer for your earning potential.
Now, what's really interesting about this data is the sheer scale of the salary premiums you get for these technical skills. Just looking at the Indian market as an example, a business analyst is pulling in an average base pay of 800,000 rupees. A DevOps engineer, that jumps to 900,000. And a data scientist completely tops the chart at a staggering 1.2 million rupees. Guys, these aren't just regular jobs. They're literally high-octane fuel cells designed to jumpstart your wealth engine.
All right, Part 3, Million-Dollar Business Models. So, how do we transition from earning a high salary to actually launching a scalable engine? Well, IdeaProof evaluated 50 different business pathways, and this matrix highlights 3 of the absolute best. I want you to actively weigh these against your own situation right now. Do you have up to 100 grand in capital and 4 years to grind out a highly technical B2B SaaS platform? Or maybe you're somewhere in the middle with e-commerce that takes a moderate investment and 2 to 4 years to really scale up. Or, hey, maybe you're starting with almost zero capital. If so, that points you straight toward a digital agency. That's a path where you could hit $1 million in just 1 to 2 years simply by leveraging the exact high-income skills we just talked about.
So, the crucial point is really this number right here, 70 to 85%. While a digital agency is super fast to get off the ground, a business-to-business software as a service, or B2B SaaS, offers absolutely staggering 70 to 85% gross margins. When you combine that with recurring subscription revenue and massive exit multiples, IdeaProof's data makes it perfectly clear. SaaS is the absolute gold standard for wealth creation. Seriously, if you can solve just one painful problem for a specific industry, your financial upside is basically limitless.
Let's look at another really fascinating contrast from IdeaProof. On one side, you have the digital marketing agency. This is arguably the fastest path to $1 million. It requires practically zero startup capital, but the catch? You're going to face constant client churn and talent retention headaches. Now compare that to online education. This model boasts the highest margins out there, a ridiculous 80 to 95%, because you literally create a course once and sell it forever. The catch here, though, is that it absolutely requires you to have existing audience authority and credibility. But notice the common denominator? Both of these scalable models rely entirely on you mastering a high-income skill first. It all connects.
Which brings us to part 4, investing for aggressive growth. Okay, so your business engine is humming along, but sitting on cash means losing value to inflation. To truly lock in that wealth, we have to hit the accelerator. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly how professional asset managers handle it. We're looking at a decade of historical model allocations from Confluence Investment Management. Do you see how the allocations constantly shift over time? Confluence doesn't just lazily rely on static historical averages. Instead, they use a highly adaptive process. They're constantly tweaking their asset class mix to optimize returns based on a forward-looking 3-year view of market cycles and the broader economy. It's totally dynamic. Breaking down the actual pieces of their aggressive growth portfolio, you can see this is a highly intentional mix. They're using U.S. large-cap stocks, keeping a very deliberate equal weight between growth and value to ride out early-stage economic recoveries. They also throw in mid- and small-cap stocks, plus emerging markets to capture that higher return potential globally. But crucially, they also allocate to commodities. We're talking precious metals like gold and a modest exposure to silver, which lets them actively benefit from global liquidity trends. Bottom line, it's a dynamic, risk-tolerant strategy designed for pure capital appreciation.
So there it is. We've laid out the complete architecture for you today. You install the millionaire mindset to hit escape velocity, you master high-income technical skills to generate that initial fuel, you leverage those skills to launch a high-margin business model like a SaaS or online education, and finally, you funnel those profits into a dynamic, aggressive investment portfolio to multiply it all. The data's all there, and the paths are laid out right in front of you. The only remaining question is, you have the blueprint. What are you going to build first?